Hello, I'm Tim Montague, and welcome to CU150. Today is May 5th, 2014. This is episode 8 of CU150, the show about technology, innovation, entrepreneurship, all in Central Illinois, and our connectivity to the greater ecosystems of Chicago, Indianapolis, and St. Louis. Today it's my great pleasure to have Kerris on the show. Kerris is the founder and CEO of a little company called Storyboard Cafe that I hope you will hear a lot more about in the near future. Welcome to the show, Kerris.
Thank you so much for having me, Tim.
Really good to have an old friend on the show, and such an innovative serial entrepreneur. So I really am excited about this conversation. Why don't we just lay it out? What is Storyboard Cafe, and what was your idea for the company?
Yeah, so Storyboard Cafe is a chapter-by-chapter publishing company. We focus on getting more awareness for independent writers, as well as encouraging more reader enthusiasts to find great books. What came out of this idea was building more awareness for independent writers, as we've seen the J.R. Rowlings of the world make a huge splash in the industry, and to discover talent. As we see currently, we have independent writers that are coming into the industry and have a lot of great work, so we want to give them a platform to showcase their talent.
Yes, and in our conversations about Storyboard Cafe, you've made the point that you are like Instagram for ebooks. You are going to make it possible for consumers to have bite-sized content, and that does two things, right? That makes a lot more content a lot more accessible, and it puts a huge, potentially much bigger audience into that market to become authors, right?
Absolutely. Part of this innovation, focusing on this, is lowering the barrier to writing a book. We understand that not everyone can write a book, but still have great ideas. And so we wanted to make a platform that can cater to that, yes, and also for readers that can maximize their time by reading great books all over from a series of independent writers.
Right. Now, of course, ebooks are not a new phenomenon. They've been around for, gosh, now over 10 years, right?
Correct.
And there is some consolidation going on, right? We've got the Kindle platform. We've got Android. We've got PCs and other tablets, the iOS devices of the world. So what is, let's talk about this market, because I do think that you kind of put your finger on, the next big thing. How does that work? And if I'm an aspiring author, why do I care?
Mm-hmm. So how this works is that people can come to Storyboard Cafe, publish any of their books that they have already, or completely just write anew in Storyboard Cafe, and there they'll find that they're able to connect with a community of people that are looking to find more books that are more interesting, that are underground, and also to give feedback too on perfecting the writer's craft. Why this matters for writers is that it connects them as the two important people in the industry, that is readers and writers. So as a whole, it brings writers a fan base, and also validates them since they're releasing chapter by chapter. So if they want to continue on in their career, they can. And for readers, it assures them that they have an author that they can say to them, hey, go kill off this character, or no, keep these two characters apart. It gives them the ability to matter and vote and say what the next chapter should be. So it's fun.
Yeah, a whole new level of interactivity during the process, potentially, which there's virtually none today, I would say.
Truly.
Authors are typically going off to their desk or their closet or their mountaintop, producing their works and then releasing them, and then just kind of seeing where the chips fall. And of course, iterating through a series, perhaps. And I would love to have that conversation, I guess, with a J.K. Rowling of the world, who's written a long series. How much did they really feed on feedback, or was it just their vision from start to finish? Hard to know.
Absolutely.
But there is, of course, this great potential for letting the reader influence the work. The other way around is already happening. So I'm an author. I write a chapter and I put it out there and say, okay, people, what do you think? And there's a couple of ways then that could play out, right? I could just put it out there for free, or I could put it out there with the hope of making some money. And do you influence that at all, or how does that work?
We do. We cater to both audiences. So if you are looking just for the community involvement and feedback on your craft, you have the ability to put your works there and develop that fan base. In that fan base, too, you can also set aside the people that are giving the most constructive feedback and have them as a sounding board as you develop your story. On the other hand, too, we also have a marketplace for independent writers to monetize off of the chapter-by-chapter release. So there, your fans can subscribe to you and pay the amount that you allocated for the chapter, and you can monetize and make it a great independent writer in the mix.
Okay. And if I'm successful, I get readers, a community who are now feeding back on my work, telling me, yes, go do more, I want more. It could also be kind of confusing, though, for an author potentially, right? You could get feedback that says, oh, I'd like to see the arc, the plot go this direction, I'd like to see this character do such and such, or this character die, or whatever, right? I mean, have you talked to authors? Is this something that authors really want and will benefit from?
Absolutely. All the authors that we've talked to in Champaign here locally, as well as in Chicago too, and there's a number of them, Chicago's Writers Conference as well, love this idea.
Okay.
They love that they have the ability to kind of get out to the masters. They understand the pain points of going through Amazon or other platforms and still having to market yourself. So this combination of bringing both groups together is exciting for both of them. And of course, yes, there will be people that say, do not kill this character or go this direction, or even may say, I don't care for this book in general. However, at Storyboard Cafe, we're releasing new features that actually enhance this area. One of which we have a troll meter. So anyone that's giving just bad review and not giving constructive criticism, the little microeconomy that you're involved in can mitigate that.
But so there are tools in the platform, or there will be tools in the platform to prevent somebody from just getting flamed?
Right.
Okay. And then are there tools if I'm wanting to curate, so let's say I'm the author and I want to curate a certain audience or a certain subset of the audience that is feeding back, does the platform add value in that respect? Does it make it easy for me to stay in touch with that select group?
Absolutely. You can follow an author, so almost like you would in Twitter. You'll be able to keep abreast of the latest of a chapter that's being released or saying that it's coming next week. We also are employing a way to hashtag books so that each author has a unique identifier in Storyboard Cafe, so you can always keep up to date on their new releases and newer comments too.
Okay.
And we'll also have later on in versions a recommendation engine too. So say for instance, if you like this romantic horror, you may like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes, I like that very much. That's one of the features that Amazon does very well, right? Authors who bought this also bought X, Y, and Z, or authors who or people who were shopping for this also shopped for X, Y, and Z. And that having a good engine, I think is a huge value add and a revenue generator, right? When you do it well, people are going to buy more stuff.
Truly.
So what is out there today when you think of this landscape for ebook publishing or micro-publishing? Obviously, there's a whole blogosphere. A lot of these authors are probably there. Where does Storyboard Cafe fit in, and why is there why is there a market where you can create a company around this?
Well, here we believe that there's a huge market potential here because a lot of these entities are fragmented. If you look at Amazon, they have their market space. If you look at Goodreads, they have review mechanisms, and Reddit has a community. Where we look at Storyboard Cafe is combining all three. So here you'll find a comprehensive way of finding a new independent book that's coming up in the ranks, as well as mainstream books too from publishing industries. You'll also find other published works too that haven't even made it to the store shelves. So we see that there's a huge market potential for this, and that people are looking for content and looking for much more. And we've seen examples of that in fan fiction.
Okay. So when people go to storyboardcafe.com, that's your URL.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to experience, and how can they best use the platform today in the alpha version that it is?
In our alpha version, when you come to Storyboard Cafe, you'll notice that it's a Mellicant platform at best. We looked at other platforms too. We want to professionalize even the published author as well as the independent author, so that there's no in-between. When you come there, you can create a profile just like you would on LinkedIn and other social media. And you can also add books to your bookshelf too that you can later showcase to your friends or revisit a book later on. In that, you can search for books that we're currently ramping up with authors from HarperCollins and Random House to independent authors that you'll find very interesting reads. In addition, Storyboard Cafe is responsive design, so you can use Storyboard Cafe on your iPad or on your Android application or tablet and enjoy the reading as you go along.
Seems like it's a tool that's going to foster reading. Obviously, there is a group of people who are already avid readers it'll be a no-brainer, right, for them. And then there's up-and-coming readers, young people especially. So is that part of your strategy?
It is. There are three segments that we think are really strong. One are the avid readers that we have already. The other are the younger, and we're reaching out to them on a university basis as well to have earlier adoption. We also see that baby boomers, too, are a huge source of content. We have more technical savvy baby boomers and experience that retirees that have been execs in big companies and that we believe want to tell their story. So we look at all three of these segments of really spooling up a lot of content that will be really great reads for people to go forward in the future.
And are there segments within literature, like fiction or nonfiction, business, whatever, that you're thinking will be that will appeal to early adopters?
Absolutely. Fan fiction is a big one just because of the chapter by chapter and serial writing will be a huge aspect for us in young adults. Another one will be fiction and sci-fi, and certainly even religious books too that we've seen grown quite a bit in ebooks. In addition to that, we also have educational books partnerships that we're working on to bring more textbook rentals to Storyboard Cafe. And also we're looking to bring more poetry too, and the influence of music as it has it in hip-hop today. So you'll be able to see just a huge amount of information from fiction to nonfiction that we believe users will enjoy reading.
Now obviously this is a very dynamic space, the ebook industry. It's a high growth industry, but it's also a highly competitive industry.
Yes.
What is going to separate you from the pack, so to speak, and what is your secret sauce? What makes you special?
So what makes us special is that we're kind of like the iOS version of the iPhone. Our site updates with new software that will be compatible with new e-readers as you explore the books on Storyboard Cafe. We will enhance these books too to certain aspects that I can't mention right now, but that you definitely have to stay tuned to find out. In addition to that too, we've also have a new business model that hasn't been seen in this industry. And so we believe that that will be really attractive for independent writers as well as readers as time becomes more precious.
And how do you make money?
So we make money from the chapter by chapter release. As people subscribe to and sponsor the independent writer, we have a service fee that's allocated to that as well. And so we monetize off of that. And we also are looking to work with publishers too to help sell their books on Storyboard Cafe.
So it really is a volume game, just like Amazon, right? You're going to have thousands and then tens of thousands. How do you benchmark, or how do you schedule, when you will be where? It's now May 2014. When are you going to launch your full-blown beta, and then how do you track your success in the coming 6-12 months?
So our new beta will be entering into the phase of November. There's a lot of writers' conference centered around there, and that's where we're looking to spool up a lot of our content. In the spring is when you'll see our full-on beta version for Storyboard Cafe next spring. Okay. However, yes, you're exactly right. It is a sums game in terms of users, but we're big on to growing the right way and not just grabbing anyone else. So we've been really fostering our time with incubating a community that really is receptive and really looking for this. We believe this focus has and will encourage more quality reading as people visit Storyboard Cafe.
Well, I don't doubt that. I'm very excited to see the platform get more traction, have more authors putting their work out there. Is there anything else in the last couple of minutes that you want to highlight about the company? I know that you're in the process of raising seed money, so if there are investors out there that are interested in talking to Kerris, you can find him, of course, at storyboardcafe.com. Or you want to mention your Twitter handle, or how else can people contact you?
Yes, check us out on Twitter, storyboardcafe.com, and also our Facebook as well. Please feel free to email me at storyboardcafe@gmail.com, and also alternative at kerris.lee@storyboardcafe.com. And yes, we would love to talk with anyone that's interested in this project. Some things that I would like to highlight is our team. Our team really came together to develop this platform. We're an aggressive team. Out of the 7 people that we have on board with us, 4 of us have masters and have really focused a lot in tech spaces. So we really believe we can innovate this industry in a quick amount of time.
Yeah, it's very impressive what you've done in the 4 months since you started, I have to say.
Thank you.
So that bodes very well, and we wish you good luck. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thanks, Kerris.
Thank you.
And that's it for episode 8 of CU150. Thanks for listening.